Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at the radius feature in the Gymnasium project. So we're going to be looking at the radius and how it works, the front end and the back end. So here we go.
Alright, so today we're going to be looking at the radius feature in the Gymnasium project. So the first thing we're going to do is run it and see basically what it is. So just look at it again. So here I run this and then run the front. So then over here I have, then we have the radius. So basically if I enter like 10 for example, take my current location, and then when I click this, then it's going to give me all the schools within 10 kilometers of where I am. And 10 kilometers as in like the radius, like without like if you look at like on a map how far it is, if you ignore all the buildings, all the turns and stuff. So how far it basically is. So that's the radius basically, that's what's called the radius. So then these are all the schools which are within 10 kilometers of where I am. So here, the first thing, so we're just gonna go here and search for the radius. So here we have the label, so in the front bit. So like this is where the like this is the label where it says like give me the radius. This is one, and then this is what we're doing, like the input. So the numbers that I'm basically putting in, and then we also have like the button. So then the button on click. So then like get gymnasium within radius, which is a function that we're going to be going through. So here's what we do. And then, so these were the three places. Then we have over here, then if we again do radius. So here radius. So this is the first one. This is like the first page. So the pages we're going to be going through later. But it's basically like over here, like previous page and next page. So that's the one it was up there. Then, give me 1 second. Yeah. So then we have next page, so the previous page and next page. After that, we have the function itself, like get gymnasium within radius, which is what we had over here as well. So that's the latitude and the longitude that we're taking in as input. So based on the user's current latitude and longitude. And then defining constant radius and the value basically that we're entering. So I enter 10 in this case over here. I enter 10. And then we're reading that if the radius is smaller or equal to 0, and this means or. So or the radius is greater than 1573. Now 1573 is basically like lengthwise how many kilometers Sweden is. We just approximated that basically. So anywhere in Sweden you should be able to do it, but not more than that. So that's why the radius, like, yeah. And that is like if we don't enter anything. Wait, excuse that. So this is if we don't enter anything at all. So then it says enter a valid radius value, because it wants you to give a radius if you're going to search for schools. So you can enter anything, you can enter 1, but you, obviously there was nothing found, but then like you can't just enter nothing. That's the point. So that's why it says enter radius, valid radius value. And then over here, we're basically like doing a fetch post. So we're basically sending the radius to like the backend, and along with these other things. And then yeah, this is back to the previous page. Then if we go over here and we look at the radius, so now we have get gymnasium within radius, so the function that we have in the backend. So this is like to actually get the schools themselves. So then we have like, so then we have like the radius, content radius, and then this data list, like this is another function we're going to go through later. But here we have radius as well. And yeah, so then this is like from the post method that we used on the front end. And that's basically, so over here is basically how we're getting like radius along with all the other things. So when we're like getting the radius from the front end what the user entered, and then trying to find the data. So this is where we're trying to find the gymnasium and all the data about it. So like when I say like 10 kilometers again, so all of this data, so like we have like the latitude and longitude, so then it's basically like finding the latitude and longitude and the min merit, the max merit, and all of that. So it's basically trying to find all those gymnasiums within the given radius. That's what's happening over here.